Oh, yeah. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Oh, baby. Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. In tonight's episode of Coast to Coast, we going deep into Croatia and going over that glorious victory. We're going to get you ready for the weekend for Torino. And we're not alone tonight, baby. So let's go!
Welcome to Milan Weekly Podcast, Coast to Coast, with your hosts, Geo and Fabio.
Benvenuti nella casa
Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Teo Hernandez, coast to coast, del numero 19.
Leao carica il boccino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Il Milan è campione d'Italia.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome friends, good evening to wherever you are. We're coming live from Long Island, New York and Southern Cali. It's another edition of Milan.
Coast to coast.
Yeah, damn right, baby. What up, everybody? I'm Fabio, joined always by my partner, Geo. G, how you doing this weekend, brother?
Oh, we doing good, Fabio. We doing good. We're getting these W's.
Oh, man.
These W's.
Yeah,
How you doing, Fab?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. It's episode 12 of the show. Guys, tonight it's called Cruising in Croatia because that's exactly what the team did. But, of course, we're not alone tonight, so we got to bring in our special guest, our brother, Timmy, from
What's
the
going
Very
on?
Shrewd Podcast, guys. What's going on, Tim? How you doing, brother?
Not much, guys. Not much. Thank you for having me. Like always, it's always a pleasure to be on the Milan Weekly Podcast channel, Milan Coast to Coast and to continent. Well, I guess it's continent to continent, country to country.
That's right.
but
Timmy's
it's
a little
everywhere.
more up north, but he's still on a coast as far as we're concerned.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. Central Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever
we'll go
it is.
Central Coast.
It's still a coast. That's what we're going to go with. But, Tim, thank you for joining us
course.
tonight. We got a great episode because we got a great performance to talk about. So let's get straight into it. Actually, excuse me, before we get straight into it, let's just give our quick 2 cents about the game that passed because we obviously didn't get to talk about it. But if you heard on Monday, Steve and Vinny were talking about it, and Jan, Steve was a little more pessimistic. Didn't really impress him. But let's talk about the 4-1 Monza victory. So your 2 cents, we'll start with G. What did you think about this game?
I mean, Fabio, it is what it is. You know, we're dealing with injuries. So right now, I don't really care if it's beautiful, ugly, high blood pressure. You know, 3 points is 3 points. And like I said, we just got to keep pace with Napoli because, you know, they're on fire. You know, I thought they would fall off, but they're showing us something else. So just keep behind those 3 points. And hopefully in January, we get all our players back. And then we get actual right winger. You know, because I'm tired of this guy Macias. I think he's a liability now, and I'm better out there. I'm probably more physically fit than him, to be honest with you. He's trash. I'm sorry. Now I don't really rag on these players, but Macias, he doesn't do it for me. He could go back to Crotone.
All right. Gio's going in hard. It's not what I was expecting from a recap from the Monza game. But, Tim, what was your 2 cents about the 4-1 victory? We had a Diaz double. We had Origi finally getting on the board and Leao putting one in the back of the net, like showing how most of our other players have a hard time, especially Giroud. And we're going to get into that, finding the back of the net. But Leao showed us all how it's done. So what was your 2 cents about the game from the weekend?
Guys, it's Monza. I went in there with, you know, we should win, and we won. And I don't know. Like, honestly, besides that, what else do we say about it, right? I mean, it's 4-1. It's a 4-1 victory over Monza. You know, going back to, I'm kind of, maybe Stevie and Jan are rubbing up a little bit on me, but I'm with them on that, man, where it's like, what else did you expect? Like, if we lost, it would have been terrible. If we drew, it would have been terrible. And we won, and it's still just a win that we should have solidified, and we did. So
This is true. This is true. To me, I still look at it as a positive outcome. They scored on a wonder goal, but Diaz looked good. Scored a couple of goals, exactly what we wanted to see. Origi finally gets on the board. Happy about that. Leao adds another one, even though everybody else was pretty upset why he was even in the game to begin with. But no harm, no foul. We get to look back on it. So for me, I'm happy to see 4 goals put on the board. Happy to see us not struggle offensively. Again, we couldn't keep the clean sheet, but that seems to have changed in just a few days. So let's move on now to the game in Croatia. We played Dynamo Zagreb in Croatia, and we got to get the victory 4-0. Now, the game didn't look that great on our half for like the first 15 minutes. A little bit of slow start. Didn't really have a great opportunity, but we finally break through in the 39th minute. Tonali with a beautiful, and again, who would have thought, a set piece. We finally get something through, and Gabia goes with a diving header, 1-0. So, Gio, let's start there. How did you feel? Again, no Tomori. Gabia comes in. We got Kier starting. Kalulu on the right. Your boy Teo as our captain on the left. Benacer, Tonali, starting with CDK over Diaz. Somewhat picked up a knock, but was good enough to be on the bench, but not starting. So, what did you see at this point? Gabia scores the header. How are you feeling? Take us through what you were going through.
Fabio, I might be enemy number one, but there's a guy named Leao on the left, and I got a real problem with him because if we're comparing Napoli's left winger and him, he like Leao, he don't got that dog in him. He don't got the like the balls to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And that's what had me disappointed. I called him a clown. That New York slang and stuff like that. And that's what I don't like about Leao. His body language, even the commentator said his body language wasn't good, but hey man, I just want people, like I've been saying, put respect on Gabia. I think he's really growing, he's maturing. And you know what I like about Gabia is he's becoming more aggressive. I think he's learning from Tomori and Kalulu because he's becoming more aggressive. He's pushing more up on the defense to make sure, like, oh, if the guy gets the ball, he could take him away. So I'm really happy for Gabia. That means that as long as he keeps growing and growing with that's the only I'm gonna say good thing about these injuries and suspensions, that we get to see what quality we have just due to the injuries, because at the end of the day, I really want to see what Gabia is made of, and hopefully, he keeps on improving so he could be Milan quality. And you saw what the goal meant to him. You saw what he did. He went over to our fans in the stands, to let them know that he's here to stay.
I think it was actually Gabia's first goal, maybe with us. I don't believe he scored another goal. I might have been what I heard, but I know it was his first Champions League goal, obviously. And if it was his first goal with us, what a time to score his first goal. But Timmy, what did you see from the first half? I mean, Gabia gets the goal. We go into the halftime 1-0 up. How did you feel at that point?
happy for Gabia, very happy. If we're gonna, maybe we'll wait to talk about the full game, but I'm exactly what Jonathan's saying. I'm just happy for him. He got his chance. He scored. You could tell what it means to him. To comment on Gio's topic, Leao, Leao has that body language, and I think us as Milan fans are gonna have to get used to it. He's never changed his body language since he started with Milan. He's changed his play. He plays a little bit better. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he's not. Right? That's why he was MVP last year. But his body language never ever changed. He constantly looks lazy. But when he does what he does, it's good, and when he doesn't, he gets shit on. Right? It's just it's what's gonna happen. So I think him being that player that's gonna always, he's our star player. He's our superstar now. We need to build a team that when he has those lazy moments, there's someone to back him up. And the problem is we don't have that. So the depth on the starting lineup, right, is that we always are expecting the most out of Leao. And when Leao doesn't have that or doesn't give it, then the rest of the team kind of has to back him up and isn't able to. That's the only comment I have from like that side of things. But I think we just need to get used to it. He's gonna score the goals when he has the opportunities. He's gonna play, but we can't only be relying on Leao the whole time, because every time the team does good or bad, it's Leao, 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 because there's no one in comparison to him there.
Very true, very true. And it's actually a perfect segue because I don't know if you guys heard. Leao scores the second goal in this game. That's why I'm a little confused. I got to read this comment here. Lab Girls, I think Gio's having a bad week. We score 8 goals and he's still smashing Leao. Chill, bro. Take a chill pill. First half was a bit ugly, but Zagreb ran out of steam in the second half, and it's 100% right. That's exactly what happened. Leao eats them up on a mistake, and he just runs straight at the goalkeeper, slides it completely past them.
Classy finish.
No hesitation. Speaking of people that have trouble finishing, well, we gotta say,
before
man,
I want to go on. Look, everybody mad, but I expect something from Leao because I see his talent.
But
That's the only reason.
At
the end of the game, at the end of the day, he's got to grow and be with it. I see the thing that killer over there in Napoli. He got that dog in him. He dribbling. Since first whistle, he on him. If Leao got that dog in him, he got to do that. He can't just by mistake, boom. And then I'm not in this 2020s calcio that you do one good play and you had a great game. Nah, that's not how it works. You got to play great the whole game and be up there.
The guys has to play almost every game for us at full strength. Now he's maybe every once in a while they take him out and move Rebic.
But you understand what I'm saying? Maybe because I think
it's just a strange time to bring this up. The guys, he's actually played really well 2 games back to back. Like
I think Gio just wants that more. Like he wants Leao to be scoring a goal or 2 every single game.
There's plenty of people to be upset about. Leao is not
the game
one
by
of
the
them.
scruff of the neck. That's all I want. I want him to like first dribble, boom, 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 be on it. That's what I expect because I know he got the talent. If Leao didn't have the talent, I wouldn't give a damn what he did if he wants to go to sleep and stuff like that. But I'm not just gonna do like, he's gonna score 1 goal and I'm gonna be happy, because that's not how life works, man. He gotta be able to struggle.
Yo, this comment is gold, bro. Zavara, I guess that's the guy's name. He's lovely, bro.
Whatever.
But in your own style of words, don't get stuck in the bench.
No, I'm just saying. He take the game to the scruff of the neck, and that's what I want from Leao. That's gonna be in his development. Like I seen, like if he's getting compared to all these other guys like Haaland and Mbappe levels, them guys take over games, and that's what I want, more of him to take over games.
Those guys take over games with a solid team behind them.
We got a good midfield, man. I don't know what else.
No, but it's different. Like those guys are getting, Haaland's getting an assist from Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. Those guys, right? Mahrez sometimes. Leao's not getting that, and he's coming in.
See, Italian Mike respected me. He know what I'm saying, man. What I'm saying.
I agree with you. I hear what you're saying, and I hear what Timmy's point is, that there's a lot more transfer money sitting behind those players than we have. We're doing the youth moment. But I just want to say, listen, of times to be arguing or focusing on people who don't finish enough, who are not doing enough. He doesn't got that dog in him. There's a guy out there who's trying so damn hard every time he gets across, but he cannot finish it, and that's Giroud. Poor Giroud. I mean, yes, he gets the 3rd goal because Tonali gets fouled in the box, causes the penalty, and the 59th minute, Giroud buries it. I'll give Giroud 100% problem. One, he's trying to score goals. He's just not getting the right header, or the goalkeeper's just there. They're making the play. But he is our best penalty kick taker. Like, if we didn't have him on and we get a penalty, we better sub his ass on like right away to take the penalty, because he's clutch. And I hope that he finds it, because if he's not scoring goals, and I didn't see a lot from yesterday's game that really made me think. He did have a couple of times that he put it on. He made one real nice volley that the goalkeeper just tipped over. But all in all, it's really not much bad to say. the one part that really irks me the most, and we got to get to this. All right. One thing I just want to mention before I jump over. Gabia said in the post match interview that actually Kier has been like a mentor to him. So it's great that he had to play with Kier, and Kier is kind of teaching him like how to be a real proper player, strong, physical, and definitely played really well. So just shout out to Gabia and Kier for being a great back and keeping him at a 0. But then the own goal, which is caused by Rebic, right? I believe it was Rebic. Yeah, I think it was
Giroud. It was a cross from the left side. Giroud fanned it, and then it smacked the defender in the head.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. It actually was Leao. It was Leao that crossed it. You're right. So there's another thing for Leao that did well. And yeah, before Rebic can come in the frame, you're right. Then it just, unfortunately, the guy who fouled Tonali bounces that ball back in. I can't remember what his name was. It's on the screen, but I can't see it.
Lubacek or something.
Lubacek, yeah. He had a really bad second half. Good first half, horrible second half.
Caused the penalty and own goal.
Caused the penalty and an own goal. That's terrible. But let's talk about one guy who's possibly I guess we'll do tops and flops now, because for me, I'm just gonna say my flop straight out. Ante Rebic does not know how to play on the right-hand side. Every cross that he made was salad maker-esque.
He's a left footer.
I know, but I'm sorry. If that's our best idea, we better address it in January. Rebic, 100%. And he actually had a chance at the end where he was on the left side. He could have crossed it back to the two other players, but he tried to take the shot and he scuffed it wide. So for me, I'd say Rebic was my flop. But let's go with you, Tim. We'll start. Who's your top and flop to begin with?
Top, Gabia.
Okay.
Clean sheet. Great defending.
Game-winning goal?
Yeah, he scored the first goal. So he had a goal, he had a clean sheet, and he had great stats. He was probably my top right there. And Tonali's there with them. Tonali got man of the match for a reason, right? So he
did, yeah.
But I'm going to give it to Gabia for the goal and for keeping the clean sheet and defending really well that game. And my flop has to go to a guy that I'm currently negotiating with West Ham. So I've been in contact with West Ham in the EPL about an ex-Milan player and possibly making a swap for this guy. CDK is horrible. He's in horrible form. Terrible form. I'm kind of mad that we didn't get Noah Lang for the right wing instead of CDK.
Oh, you mean the guy who missed the penalty kick today?
Yeah, but either way, he wouldn't be taking penalties on Milan. So
you're damn right.
Man, I don't know what's going on with Charles, man. Again, I'm not a guy that was on CDK. I left that for you, Fabio. But I like, what is going on? What is going on?
New, like everybody says, right? I'm not going to be the first person to say it. New country, new league, new team.
Same league, UCL, Champions League. He has the experience, man.
Yeah, he has the experience there. But again, look at Club Brugge this year. They're looking pretty solid again, right? So obviously it's a good system. They have good players there. He was able to thrive in the time that he was there. So there's no reason. But
because my Canadian boy Buchanan's there on Club Brugge, tearing it up.
It's a lot of pressure when you come in as you're like the big signing for the champions of the team. It's a lot of expectations. And, maybe we were wrong to think that this kid was like a Kaká type, because he's not. Because Kaká was taking the league by storm immediately, benching Rui Costa and taking his spot. This guy can't even bench Diaz. And Diaz has already basically signed his papers. He's gone next year. He's going back. So, yeah, we need to be patient. People like Club Montreal is saying, we got to be patient. People shit on Leao. They shit on Tonali, Benacer, even Dale. We just got to be patient with him. And luckily for us, he's not costing us games. The one thing I would say is, and then I'm throwing this out as my indigestion early, and Stevie mentioned it on Monday, is that CDK, I don't care how you felt about your performance. You sit on the bench, you stay with your team. And when the game is over, you go, salute the fans because they're the
Yeah.
ones there no matter where you are, no matter the weather. They're out there supporting. So you don't show no disrespect to any of those people, and the rest of your team does it. People that never see the field stay out there and support their team. I don't care. No matter what your issue is, unless you had to go take a shit really bad, you better stay on that bench with everybody else. So that's just my thing. But Gio, who's your tops and flops of this game?
Man, I was gonna give my top to Gabia, but to be different, I'm gonna get it for the man that we're struggling to renew. His name is Benny the Pit Bull. I think we really need to, and we really need to know if we're. To me, the most I'll go is stale money because I think at the end of the day we got American owners, and American owners is about marketing, and he's not very marketable. So if he wants to take that stale money, then he can. But if other than that, I think we can't go Kessie money for him. You see Kessie gone. Now we having a better midfield. We playing good, and to me, I think Benny's very crucial. But we just need to get him signed up. And then my flop, man, is gonna be CDK, man. I mean, but I think at the end of the day, all our top players have struggled. Leao struggled for 2 years and a half. Tonali 1 year. Benny. He was getting red cards, yellow cards, all that in his first 2 years. So it just takes, I don't know, it just takes us like two to 2.5 years to us to get like the quality of player in them. And then it sucks for us because and then they have that one good 6 months to 1 year, and then they want the $7-8 million, or that's the only thing sucks about this because I just need a little bit more loyalty in these players, that have signed. And Theo, I mean, I don't really think he struggled, just that people never liked his antics and all that stuff. But he's the only one that signed the team.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't quite understand the hate on Dale. Signed with us. He signed the extension. For me, he's in the good graces right now. But all right. So let me just give my top now before we move on. And my top, hey, I'm gonna have to agree with the Milan website. Maybe the fans, they voted. I'm going Gabbia, baby. Doubling up on Gabbia. I think it was a great performance by the kid, scoring his first goal, Champions League goal. Great diving header, clean sheet. What more can you ask? This guy's looked at like the fourth, the fifth option. And he's been playing valuable games for us, playing is the best that he can, not really causing too many mistakes. I mean, that one own goal, which they didn't call an own goal, but still, I'm still happy for him. Happy he's doing well. I think he was our top. And obviously, my flop was Rebic playing on the right side. Rebic is for the left or for the center. He is not a right winger. He just can't do it. There's a reason why this is like last resort, but I never thought I'd say this, but, well, man, we need to get Macias and Salamaker back to at least get some sort of just fluidity on the right side, because it's just the right is still a problem. Hopefully they identify it, but let's move on because
our things are bad when
exactly.
you're asking for salad makers to come back on the right. Things are really
bad.
Have
to pinch
what
myself.
are you drinking, Fabio?
I know. I must be drinking some guy. You know what?
Oh my
Look
God.
what they're doing to me by putting this garbage on the field. So this is because they didn't want to pay money to buy somebody. So great.
We just need a win. We need to win Salzburg. We need to collect all this 2.6 million every game that we win. So.
All right, let me put this back on here. Now let's just talk about our group before we move on. Group E. So as you can see, Chelsea still sitting pretty at top with 10 points after beating Salzburg. Did us a big favor because our victory over Zagreb got us up to second place. But not anything is set yet. Anything can still happen. We got to handle Salzburg. If they beat us, they could jump us. God forbid, for some reason, Dynamo still has something to play with. They can technically get to Europa League still. So, they're not gonna just let Chelsea probably will roll over for them or play like a second, which should be enough to still beat them. But Chelsea got
the tie and the win.
Yeah,
the
tie will get us through.
Yeah, a tie will get us through as long as Dynamo doesn't score 6. What's our plus minus?
No, we'll get to
7
goals. We'll be good.
Yeah,
we'll be at 8 points.
No, we own the head-to-head versus Dynamo, so they can't surpass us. The only people that can surpass us is Salzburg.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So we're
it
good
would
on that.
be.
So the tie or the win is.
It
But no,
basically
we
would
need
be.
the win, Timmy.
Yeah.
We need all the money that
I'll
we can
take.
get.
I'll take a
Yeah, that's
tie. We'll
true.
get the money when we go into the round of 16 and face Man City. So whatever.
Yeah. So I'm still feeling pretty confident, guys. Let's just get the victory and we'll be good from there. So we don't even have to worry about nobody else's results. I mean, obviously we get a tie. That should be enough too, but let's just handle our business. I don't like relying on nobody else. All right. So let's get to the other game, right? This is a big game here because we thought maybe this could lead to things changing. You know, this game was super important for us. It was just as important for Juventus. So Juventus went to Portugal to play Benfica, and man, it wasn't. Let me try to pull it up here. Hold on one second. I'm a little delayed. No, that's next game. So Juventus ended up losing 4-3. Score sounds a lot closer than it actually was. Juventus was getting smashed out most of the game. They tied the game early behind Vahalovic's goal, but then Benfica immediately scored again, and they got another penalty, and then it just kept rolling from there. Juventus just couldn't do anything. Let me just pull this up here. So let's start with you, Gio. Tell me what you saw about this game. What you just business as usual for Juventus, right? Losing like this.
Yeah, nah, man. Roy Kista, he deserves a lot as their director. He sells a lot of their top quality players every year, and they're still in Champions League and stuff like that. I don't know. I had to ask Adrian why those two clubs, Porto and Benfica, are in financial trouble if they sell like over 200 mil every year. They get Champions League money. I don't know. Is Rui Kista he spend it on his mistresses or something? And the other guys over there, because I don't know how they're in financial trouble. But you know what? Hey, man, like I've always said, that's why I want a right winger with pace. Look at these guys. That the Portuguese do is they fast. They could play with Premier League, as we've seen today, as a later game that we're gonna discuss. Like them, shout out to that league. They don't get respected, but they have a lot of talent in that league, and they know how to make money and keep replacing talent after talent after talent. And Benfica really smoked them.
They really did,
And
especially
and
Rafa
then
Silva
this.
could have had like 2 or 3 more goals that he either hit the bar, missed. I mean, they were saved. They were pelting Juventus. Juventus, man, they looked slow during this game. They looked old. They looked slow. Every time I watch Juventus, I say, why is Bonucci still playing? Why have they not forced this guy off the team into retirement? He's so old. He's slow. It's just, man, it's bad news. It's bad news.
But Fabio, also, they brought in like these two young gunners, and now Juventinos, they with the bed sheets and all that. But you know what? That's what I think. Timmy was the one that told me like that. Now you can't bring in Shaka Traore for the last 5 to 10 minutes in the last game if we're winning 4-0, because what does he really prove? Like this game was dead and gone. And
This
then
kid,
Sule,
Jr., he was good.
No. But Fabio, the game was over. Like that they took their pedal off the gas and they were just strolling. And that was it. Even with a draw, Fabio, like even if they got a draw, they still going through in second place. But that doesn't do anything to me. Like that's shout out to Timmy's scouting and all that he knows that's not gonna improve a player 5 to 10 minutes if they're up 4-0 or they're down 4-0, because there's no pressure.
Well, what'd you think of this game? 4-3, Black King
So,
of Juve.
I did take some notes. So some notes on this game that I noticed is Allegri doesn't give a shit. They scored. Benfica scored that first goal, and this guy was just like, okay, yeah, I expected this kind of thing. He doesn't give a shit. He's there to collect a paycheck. He does not
It's a
care.
hefty
You
check.
can fire him, and he's still making moolah. He doesn't care about this team anymore. Second thing was there was some questionable stuff. That first goal that Juve was gifted, whether it was offside or handball, I didn't really see all the angles, but not sure if you guys saw that. Vlahovic's goal, it like kind of, I don't know, it hit off his hand or it didn't hit off his hand, and it might have been offside, might have not. Either way, it was a really sloppy goal, and it was gifted. Turning it around for Cuadrado, that VAR not even like taking a look at that. The guy went to clear it with his chest to hit the other player. I think it was João Mario's chest and then went off his hand in the box on a clearance. It wasn't a denial of goal or a denial of play.
Yeah, I agree.
And
That was a bad call.
Yeah, that was a terrible call. They didn't even look at it, but who cares? And I gotta say, what a little nifty touch by Rafa Silva. That was a little back heel flick for the
Hell
goal.
yeah. That
It
Rafa
was,
Silva is he is a great player, man. We should have been looking for him instead of CDK. Hey yo.
He
Fabio,
was, but he told the Portuguese national team to F off after they finally called him off to bench him. So I don't know.
I want to speak about one player in this game, man. Is the one that Maldini and Masada dropped the ball on because they were all stuck to the bed sheets for Renato Sanchez. That Enzo Fernandez kid is unbelievable, Fabio. We dropped the ball 15 million, Fab. Like a lot of people are saying, like, shout out my brother Shane. He was telling me that it's gonna cost 50 mil to replace Benacer. Not if we do these deals. On the Dika 9 million. Enzo Fernandez, like, man, that kid's a baller. And once again, they'll sell him in the summer for 60 to 70 mil after one season because, and then they'll replace him with another 5 to 10 million. We just need to steal their scouts, basically, what I'm trying to say, because they sell and replace, and they're always competitive in their leagues and even in the Champions League. So respect to Liga Nos.
Well, so Juve was the embarrassment of the Italian leagues this week. The other two teams that played today, well, they solidified their spots in the knockout stage. Let's talk about our cousins. Inter, they played Victoria Pleasant today, and they shellacked them 4-0. 2 goals by Dzeko, 1 goal by Correa, and a final goal by Lukaku. So 4-0. Did you get to watch this game at all, Timmy?
I did, actually. I had it in the background at work. Got some time to kind of watch it a bit. Victoria Pleasant, really,
they were just happy to be there.
Yeah, they were just happy to be there. I wish they actually put in the effort and time. I mean, we see how bad Inter really is in the league right now. 7th place, and wow, they come to this team and just throw them like they're the Campioni d'Italia, which they're not. So it's like, whatever, it is what it is. This is my indigestion, is that I had to see them win 4-0. but it is what it is. Whatever. Yeah.
All right. So, G, what were your thoughts about the Inter game?
Fabio, check your WhatsApp.
Check my WhatsApp.
The thing, if you could do it at the end when we're doing our thing. But nah, man, I told you, Victoria Pearson, they're just there to hand out these beers and enjoy the show and get that 40 million, dude. That's all they're there for. Did they even pick up a point? Have they even? They probably they
lost every single game.
They lost every single game by like 2 to 3 goals, so they're like in negative 50 goal difference. I think they're the worst team that ever is in the Champions League, but Inter, they hitting form, with the help of the referees in the league, and they doing their thing in Champions League. Oh, and help of the refs in Champions League. I forgot they handball versus Barca and all that. But hey, it is what it is. So they're hitting form because they need that extra help.
All right. So the last team we got to talk about. Gio's giving me a lot of homework to do while I'm doing this. Hold on one sec. Let's take that down. All right. So the last team, of course, is the team that's been flying high, right? We can't talk about Italians playing well without talking about Margherita Pizza themselves, Napoli. Let me just find them. There they are. And, some people thought, listen, they're already qualified. They're probably going to not put much out. You know what? They still put out a couple of really good players. Not all starters. Some of them, yeah, mostly starters. But a couple of bench players, rest a couple of guys. And they just ran over Rangers today. Here we go. There it is. 3-0 Napoli. So, Gio, did you get to watch this game, or were you
too
busy watching Barcelona?
No. I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching Spurs game because I know all these games they don't really matter, and stuff. I could just watch the highlights, but man, Simeone, Napoli, they have a lot of depth, man. To be honest with you, they have surprised me. Like I said, I thought they would fall off, but they're just gelling. They're a young, hungry team, and they don't know no better. They don't know what it is to lose or anything. They're just going out there playing their game and stuff like that. So, and they have to win because next week they go to Liverpool. And if they lose in Liverpool, by a 3-goal margin, then they go second place. I think they want to top the group to get an easier draw on the round of 16.
I think they have to lose for like a big margin. But as you can see, Simeone scored twice, and the third goal was Ostergaard, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Napoli cruise. Tim, did you get to see any of the highlights of this game?
I did. Again, I just want to give a shout out to Mark Strupa. Facebook Frank, when he was in New York, he said, Mark is my doppelganger, even though he's just a little bit taller and skinnier than me. But
holy
reminds me
shit,
of
I
him.
never ever thought about it.
Yeah.
But damn, he's your cousin Mark from Boston.
My
From
cousin Mark from
Boston.
Boston. So just a shout out to him. But yeah, man, what can you say about Napoli right now? Like, surprise, surprise. All of us were saying they ain't doing nothing. Losing out on Insigne, losing out on Koulibaly, all that. So they're playing very well. I mean, that team's balling. I think there's a couple players, there that we probably missed out on. And I think, Simeone was a great signing for them. And I wish, him to be a replacement to Giroud every so often, or even, come off the bench. I think we missed on Simeone. I think we had an opportunity to grab him when we didn't. He's gonna be starting. If I don't know, man. I think he's wasting his time at Napoli on the bench and not being the starter. But if depending on, I guess, Osimhen, right, if he comes back or not. But he's balling out of control. Kvaratskhelia, he's killing it too. A no-name player, just proving himself. He has a lot more to prove. He's balling. It's nice when you see guys like Ndombele coming off the bench and playing for Napoli. I mean, that says a lot right there. Then you got guys coming in like Kim from, the center back Kim coming in and in form, player
really
of the month.
Well,
yeah, he was player of the month.
You mean he doesn't need months and months and years to adapt to the league?
Right. Exactly. You know what? That's the thing. But again, I think the pressure's different, right? So like you got a guy like CDK, the pressure's there, but with these guys like Kim J, one player of the month.
They're playing for Napoli. They're right now they're playing the house money.
They're coming in and they don't have the pressure, right?
Valentine's Day.
And they're balling out, but I don't know.
But let's
they're doing well. What can I say? I can't talk bad about Napoli right now. There's no way for me to talk bad about them.
They got to give us a chance. Hopefully sometime in February. That's why I keep saying. Once the roses come out, they're going to start, especially snow. There's going to be plenty of snow in February. They're going to start slipping and sliding all over the place.
It's crazy that the Kvaratskhelia guy, I'm thinking that's what his name is. Exactly. To come in and I'm not saying this in the longevity of a career, but coming in and replacing Insigne, like Insigne didn't even matter to them. It's crazy, right? He's in form, and then Kim J coming in and replacing Koulibaly, was touted as one of the best defensemen, right, for a long time. So it's very interesting. Very interesting that Napoli is playing like this. Very interesting.
Well, Napoli, you know what? They take a lot of low risk, high rewards. All these players that we don't even know from different leagues and all that stuff. They're working on it, and they keep replacing. That's the thing that they sell. I think when we start selling like our players here and here and getting more quality, I think we're gonna be fine in the long run. But we can't keep losing our players for free. But with them, they got 40 million for Koulibaly, then spend 15 for Kim. So and it's an adequate replacement, to be honest with you.
100%.
I didn't even know he was that good, and he's disciplined. Yeah.
Well, Napoli's sitting pretty at the top of Group A. They're going to be playing Liverpool again next week on Tuesday. It's going to be a game of importance for them. Not necessarily that they can't lose. They just can't lose by more than 3 goals.
I would love for Liverpool to come to Napoli and smash them. Absolutely love to see that. Get smashed. Guys, Liverpool is still a good team. They're in a little bit of a slump right now, but
I don't know about smashing. Napoli.
It would
Napoli's in
be
great form.
beautiful, but that's what I want to see. Now, as a Milan fan, I want to see Napoli get smashed, so it brings them back a little bit to reality.
Listen, honestly, the game with Liverpool, to me, doesn't matter at all. What I want to see is them slip on the weekend. That's what I want to see. I want to see them fall asleep at the wheel just for a minute and drop points to a team that they shouldn't have dropped points to, and I'll be happy. But this one, Group A, they're already locked in. As long as they don't get destroyed by Liverpool, they got Group A. They're winning it. Inter has locked in.
Yeah,
Group
it's in
C,
Liverpool.
the second spot.
It's in Liverpool. Tim.
Yeah, it's in Liverpool. That's
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're not getting.
Alright.
They could get smashed in Liverpool, but
Yeah,
I
and
don't
Well,
think at home
Inter
they'll get smashed.
Bayern will literally mean nothing. They play each other one more time, and it literally will mean nothing. So Inter's got number 2 locked in. They can really rest their next game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we spoke about us. We need to beat Salzburg to get as much money as we can, but technically a draw will get us there. So let's go out winning 3 wins this year. And then Juventus, well, they are done. They're actually now fighting to get the Europa League spot. Because if Maccabi somehow gets a point, against Benfica,
they
which
can do it. They can do it.
technically they can do it because Benfica's already through. Whether they're first or second, I don't know how much they're going to really care about that. But if they could rest players and just avoid injury, it's a long season, guys. So if you don't have to play your starters in a game that is technically not meaningless, because I guess you want to win the group to get money and everything else, but do you really want to jeopardize your players like right before they leave to go to the World Cup and everything else? I don't know. For me, I'm happy. Juventus is just struggling a little bit.
Fabio,
they
this
had
is true
8,
right
9
here.
years of great soccer, and it's okay that they struggle a little bit. The Europa League, the new Champions League. No,
already
it's
got-
the
they got
Confederations is the new European champion. Did you guys heard? The Confederations Cup, because Roma won it last
Bonsai
year,
tree.
and that's the only one that matters now. So that's the Champions League, guys. You see how we're doing. Destiny in our own hands, exactly what we want. Don't have to worry about other results. If we take care of our business and win, we're in. If we have to fight for a draw, we'll still make it through. But we want to keep winning. We want to keep riding until the end of the first half of the season with only a few games left to go. So let's now move on to the next topic, which, of course, is the game that we got coming. Torino. We're going to travel and go see Torino on the weekend on Sunday. So let's start here. Let me pull this up so I can get some things going. But, G, let's start with you, brother. How do you feel about this matchup against Torino? Let me see where Torino's sitting in the actual standings. Not very high. I believe they're in the bottom 10, right?
Torino's.
They're 10th exactly, actually.
But the thing about Torino, Fabio, is they can't score any goals. Like, they don't have no strikers. They lost El Gallo for free. So, but what is the outcome every time we go to Torino? We always have a hard time. So, I'm expecting a tough game, Fabio. They get the 50-50 balls. They tackle you, leave those extra hits on your body. And, sometimes we don't have those players, that like to get hit. They acting like Paul Gasol and all that. They don't like to get hit, and then they shy away from the game. So that's what I'm looking for. Like I say, versus these teams, 50-50 balls, effort. That's all it's gonna take for us to win. We don't need to outclass them or do anything. It's just effort and 50-50 balls, because that's what Torino are good for. 50-50 balls and effort. That's it. But
they rank 13th in goals scored, so they do not score goals less than a goal per game.
But they rather scrap it out. They rather scrap it out. For a draw.
Right,
and
Timmy,
Juric doesn't like us. He doesn't like us because we didn't give him back Pobega. So they always gonna like all these teams, Torino, Fiorentina. All these teams are going to play their hearts out. They could lay down for Inter, Juve, Napoli. Score on the goal. But for us, they set up the Great Wall of China and they block it everything.
Look at that. 72% predicted. Make sure that gets higher, baby. So we're sitting in second. They're sitting in 10th. They have nobody injured or suspended. Their top goal scorer only has 3 goals. Tim, another little fun fact. Torino's actually who we're playing in the Coppa Italia when we start playing games for it. So
Interesting.
how are you feeling about this game on the weekend?
I think it should be a good little tough matchup in the midfield. I would like to see 2 players start this game to give 2 other players a rest. I really like to see maybe Pobega starting this game, and I would like to see Origi starting this game as well.
Okay.
I think we need to rest some players if we want to make it out of the group stage. And I think Pobega would be a nice bring on because he's going through his former club. And Origi, even though I didn't see a lot of him, but I did see some try and a little bit of grinta there in the end of the Zagreb game. I would like to see him start and give Giroud a little rest because that old man needs to rest those little legs of his.
I agree. I couldn't find the back of the net if it wasn't for the penalty kick. So it'd be a good game to give him a rest. But just to look back last year, I know it's a different Torino team. Players are different. But last year, only 1 goal against them.
It's a worse.
It's a worse Torino team. Yes,
so.
Absolutely. But last year, they did only allow 1 goal to us. They kept us a 0-0 draw. So I think, like you guys were saying, these teams always come out and they play hard against us. So we definitely have to come out. And look at the head-to-head. Where, for the most part, we got them. We don't really lose to them. Let's not even think about drawing. Let's just put this game.
Yeah, but look, we have 9 draws, Fabio.
I know. But this. If we get a draw with this Torino, look, Torino. Yes, they beat Udinese. That should be a little worrisome. Udinese has been playing good, right? They beat them last week. Before that,
Udinese is coming back to reality too.
That's also true. But they lost to Juventus 1-0. They tied Empoli 1-1. They lost to Napoli 3-1. So this is a Torino team that, if we're not scoring 3 goals, just like Napoli did on it, I think, what are we doing here? If they're a worse Torino side, we got to come.
Any update on Diaz? I think we're getting a question in the comments there. Is anybody?
Yet. I mean, Diaz is good because he was on the bench. He just didn't get into the game because we kind of took over Zagreb and we didn't need him to play. But I think this is more of a game for CDK. Let Diaz recover a little bit more.
Nah, Fabio. No. He can't take those hits. He's Paul Gasol. Let him hit him 2-3 times. You guys are gonna be pissed.
I need Diaz ready to go next week.
Oh I don't
need him getting hurt against.
Things are bad. Things are so bad. We're asking for salad makers and Diaz back now. Oh my God!
Especially you, Fabio. That
I know. This is bad.
You know what? What are we seeing from CDK? Are we seeing him make right choices?
Nothing.
Everybody talking, he's got the skill, you could tell, but he's just not making the right choices. Until I see anything different.
All I need to hear is Fabio say, "Bring on Balo instead of Theo for the next game," and I'm done. I will click end this podcast and walk away.
You
Fabio,
know what?
But how long
if he scores the 93rd minute, I'll be calling for Balo again.
Fabio, but how long does a strained buttocks take for it to heal? Because that's what he has, a buttock strain. His butt.
Listen, he's been twerking in the back. I don't know what he's doing, man.
No, but I'm just saying. Oh, dang. Look at this. Look at Anthony. He's saying it.
Adley. On this weekend.
We know that's not going to happen.
First of all, Adley had a little chance, and I think we can all agree that we haven't seen anything from Adley yet. And obviously, neither has Pioli. He gives him a chance in a game. So, I mean, Adley should be looking like the last 30 minutes, if Diaz we can't bring him on.
Butts hurting. Pioli was maybe going to work a little bit.
Listen, we need these guys healthy. And I'm sorry, I know it sounds ridiculous, but if we can't count on CDK to come through in a big game, and right now, the jury's still out on him, and he needs to show it. And yes, we do need to give him time, but we need also results. And you know what? Diaz has shown a little more grinta, staying on his feet, fighting through challenges, making, game-changing plays. All right. And you know what? If you're not the strongest guy, you're not the biggest guy, but you make stuff happen, maybe this is like, again, sometimes when you're at the end of your contract and you don't know where you're going to be next year, you don't know if the team wants to keep you, if they're going to send you back to the team that actually owns you. Maybe you have a little chip on your shoulder. You play a little harder. You play a little better. And that's what we want to see. And if it keeps going, it's good for us. But do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't have faith that Diaz can do this week in, week out. My thing is that I want to say, CDK, what I've seen so far, for $35 million, this is not enough. We got to see you with composure, put the ball in the back of the net. If not, make the right choice, because a lot of times most of our players, they're trying to go for the selfish shot instead of looking to make the pass to the other guy who's in better position to make the goal.
Right.
And you know what? When we're scoring 4-1, 4-0, this is a good problem to look back and have and say the player that we spent the most money is not scoring goals, but the rest of the team is. So you know what? It's a good thing because at some point CDK is going to get into form, and then there won't be on pressure for Leao, Giroud, all these guys that have to be the goal scorers because our cams don't score. And if they do score, it's only Diaz. Diaz only scores 4 goals the whole season, and we're already maxed out at 4. So, come on. So, for me, I like the idea of Diaz, but from what I've seen, and this keep giving him another year. I don't believe it. But if the kid proves me wrong, I will be happy to sing his praises. But Salad Makers and Macias are not changing. We should sell them for profit, find the real white wing. But, for me, CDK should be playing this game, and we need to get him at least 50, 60 minutes in. Let's get this kid on the score sheet so he can build confidence and watch he ends up 5-6 goals by the end of the year.
Fabio, I think if you looked at what I've been saying all year about Tonali, you see what a week rest does to him. He's able to cross the ball. The corners weren't just hitting the first defender. They're doing pretty good. I think this is a game. I need to see Vortex and Pobega. That's going to be a partnership, and we need to see what if the way that we deal with injuries. What if our 2 main midfielders go down? We got to know if they're enough quality to steer the ship. Like Gabia, Tomori, he's down. Boom, he steps in. We need to see if our that's how we're gonna form a team that has depth. We're gonna see they're out.
Are you calling for Vortex and Pobega for this game here against the 10th place team?
Yeah, Vortex.
We're not talking substitutions. We're calling them to start.
Hey man, we got to see what they're made of. Fabio, what if they go down we're an injury-prone team? Look how many injuries we have. Go up, scroll down to the thing. We had 8, 9 injuries. And if we keep on playing people every 3 games, you don't know what could happen.
Listen, at the same time, these games are important, man. Get the points in the bag. Lab Gorilla, thank you for checking in, brother. We appreciate you. I think we have to play our best players because all 3 points count. Bring Vortex on, bring Pobega on. If other guys can't play because they're injured or they have a knock or they're sick or whatever, fine. But I haven't seen Pobega enough this year make me confident that he should be starting as a full rotation for Tonali or Benacer.
I would probably play
Pobega
this one.
He's not Kessie.
I would start Pobega maybe for at the end of the day, guys, I think I'm confident enough that Milan can turn a game around if they need to. We've seen it happen before where we go down and Pioli does a halftime switch and throws on his starters and the game's turned, right? So to go in with Vranks or Vortex and Pobega, it's not such a bad idea. And then if worse comes to
what
worse,
about Krunic?
Yeah, him too. I still have nothing against Krunic. I think he's a great utility player. Yes, he missed an open shot. He opened up a shot, but I think he's a guy that can almost play anywhere, and I don't think we need players like that, So I like Krunic, but yeah, going with Vranks and or Vronks, whatever the hell his name is, and Pobega's not. It is ballsy. It is ballsy. I will say that, but it's not such a bad idea because Gio has a point, man. Like, what happens if both Benacer and Tonali can't make it, and we have to rely on that? You know, Pioli's gonna call Krunic, and we need to know who else can go.
Yeah, I would say probably Pobega then at that point, but no way am I starting Pobega over one of those two guys right now when we need all 3 points every game.
We're gonna
No
need
way.
all 3 points the whole season, but we're gonna have to
Exactly. But
rely
I'm
on
just saying
those.
when we're playing Cremonese or the bottom teams, then
Yeah.
I can understand. All right, fine, and then
Okay,
we
fair
sub
enough.
them on 60 minutes because we need to turn the game up, like the way they did with Leao against Monza. That I can understand, but let's not purposely put our team in a hole to just assume they're going to be able to fight back. We have enough high blood pressure to begin with. Now we're going to provoke him. Now we're going to provoke him. Oh man. So
Tough one, man.
listen.
Hopefully, it lasts till January. If we can last full strength till January with who we have, and we avoid any more injuries, I think we'll be okay. The problem that scares me, the thing that's really scary, is that you know what happens to the transfer markets after the World Cup, right?
They get crazy.
Retarded, like
Yes.
800% increase in players. So anybody that we were looking at, if they do well, we're paying out, a lot of money. But I think the thing that's going to upset me the most this season, probably worse than anything else, is that if we don't get at least one player in January, because now there's no excuses. There's the money's there, whatever we have, I don't know, but it's there. There's not a new owner coming in a few weeks that doesn't want to spend money. So it's January, we got to see what we can, look at these little African teams that perform, pick up on these players and grab and snag some good deals. But I think we have to address, certain positions, and I think having another striker, bringing in another striker, not a bad idea. Bringing in another cam, not a bad idea. And number one thing is bringing in a decent, and I mean decent, right wing.
A right wing that should be taking the starting position. That's what we need.
Exactly.
That's
But
what we
the
need.
problem is, you look at what's available too right now. Unless we're going within the Italian league, there's only one guy that stands out to me right now, and he plays on Napoli. Right, that's the only Italian right winger in the Italian league that I can say that or two. Icone from Fiorentina and Politano from Napoli. Those are the only two I see that would have a starting position and would actually bring in something to this team. You look elsewhere, there's not that many. What are you going to go for? Rodrigo? No. You're going to go for Anthony? No. You're going to go for who else? There's no one I can't think of anyone that stands out in that right.
And
wing.
trust
Somebody
me,
wants out in
the
January.
person that they're going to
Somebody
look
wants
at.
out in January.
No,
His
nobody
name
wants
Mbappe.
him, but
Yeah.
Mbappe wants out.
I refuse to have Mbappe on my team after seeing what he does.
Nah. He need to get punched in the face for real.
Yeah,
Mbappe.
yeah.
well, let's
Because
not call
he's a
for
spoiled little
violence,
brat.
Gio. Well, let's look at the
And
last couple
baby.
of games. We only have 5 games. We only have 5 games left before the international break, and the rest of 2022 takes a pause. So we got Torino this weekend. Then we play Salzburg on Wednesday, which is undoubtedly the biggest game of these 5 games. Then we'll play Spezia. Then we'll go play Cremonese before we finish off at home against Fiorentina.
So from right now we're playing every 3 to 4 days.
Yep.
Then because we got Torino, then Wednesday we got Salzburg, and then Spezia on Saturday, and then Cremonese on Tuesday. Oh shoot!
Yep.
All right then.
We got
Yeah,
a
we
bunch
need
of
rotation.
games.
Hey, I was calling for rotation. Pato
Well,
said, let these people die
Tuesday.
on the field.
That's an honorable death, my man. All right. Cremonese is the game that if you look at and you need to rest players, that's the game you rested. But put your foot on Spezia's throat. Put your foot on Torino's throat. Put your foot on Cremonese's throat as much as you can. But the Fiorentina game, just play well, play as hard as you can, get the points because that's the final game. of
That
the
shouldn't
first
be too
half of the year.
difficult.
It
Fiorentina
should
is
have been.
like
Fiorentina
shitting
is
the
not
bed.
that great right now, but they
They're
did
not.
play
No,
Inter really
Fiorentina is
hard.
gonna want to
So
play
let's
their
not
hearts
sleep.
out with us.
Yeah, exactly. And they played their hearts out against Inter and almost drew with them. So it's you never know. That's what's great about the Italian league. You got to bring it every damn week. So that's where we're sitting. We're sitting at second. Let me show the table real fast. Sitting at second, only 3 points behind Napoli. Lazio's in third, tied with Atalanta, and then Roma's right behind in 22 points in fifth. Udinese is now
Really
dropped
tight
down to
race. Still
sixth.
early, but
And
tight race.
Inter's tied with Udinese, but they're sitting in seventh. And there's Juventus, lonely Juventus, down at 8. So right now, Inter, Juve out of the European spots altogether, but it's a long ways to go. Only 11 games in, so it's crazy, man. It's crazy how we're looking. So, all right, let's move on to one of our next segments, which we always do: the brioche and indigestion of the week. So I said my indigestion, which was CDK leaving early on Monza. I didn't like that. My brioche was just seeing the 8 goals in a matter of days. Exactly what I want to see from my Milan. And I expect more, maybe another 4 this weekend to make me happy. I don't want to see no doubt. I want to put Torino to bed early so we can all relax on Sunday, eat our pasta happy. Right? So, Gio, do you have any indigestion or brioche of the week?
I don't really think I have an indigestion. What's been? Not nothing really. But my brioche, man. Shout out to our manager in 5 years, Abate. I think he's playing very good with the Primavera. He has revived us. We're beating top quality Primavera, better than the ones in Italy, like the ones in Chelsea, Salzburg. You see all the talent that they're producing. So man, that's my brioche. Shout out to Abate, managing in 5 years at Milan. You know, he's working through the ranks, and maybe he wasn't as good as a player as he could be a manager. So shout out to him, man. And the
Pretty
Justin,
damn good player.
yeah, he was all right, Fabio. I mean, he had pace. He couldn't really defend like that, but and at the end of the day, indigestion. I don't really have no indigestion. You know.
All right, fair enough. Timmy, do you have any feel-good moment, any brioche of the week?
Yeah, feel good moment was I was able to participate in Nick the Troll. Fabio, you're familiar with him when you're on the Bears
Yes.
Views. It was his wedding, so shout out to him and Jules for their wedding. That was a fun time. Seeing Milan score 8 goals was great. My indigestion of the week just happened earlier today, actually. So as I speak about Nick, he's at the Pele soccer store in Florida. And he calls me and he goes, "Hey, go on their site, see if there's anything there that you want." And I send him the third kit, the training kit for Milan, and Brazil's goalie jersey. And he messages me back and says, "There's not a single Brazil jersey or Milan jersey at this place." And I turn around and I go, "How the hell is this place called the Pele soccer store and they don't have a single Brazil jersey? Not a single one. And not a single Milan one."
Are they
Timmy,
affiliated with Puma?
No, Timmy.
They're affiliated with
The New York
Fanatics.
one, the New York one has all the stock, and the Orange County one has all the Brazil gear. But that you could have told me. I was just down there like 4 months ago. They didn't have nothing. They didn't even have no Milan gear in
Nothing.
there. You know, so and they always close down for like special events. So it's just like a special event when they want to meet Mickey and friends because
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
Disney Springs. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's
That's
crazy.
where they're at right now.
All
But
right, it's in
still,
Disney Springs.
you should have at least one Brazil jersey in a Pele soccer store. It just the Pele, like, come on, doesn't even make sense.
I never even heard of this store, so you guys are putting me on blast here because I've never even heard of that. But next time I'm in Florida, I'll check it out. Shout out
They
to
have one
Milan
in
Club.
New York, Fabio.
Do they?
Yeah, and they sell the classic jerseys too because they have a partnership with Classic Football Shirts.
Really?
Yeah, they're owned by Fanatics, and Fanatics has a lot of Milan gear as well. They're
Gotcha.
pretty good. So
Okay.
I mean, on the website you can pretty much get everything, but in store they have nothing.
Gotcha. Okay. Understood now. You know what? You gotta send me that page, Gio. All right, so let's get to our next segment. All right. Torino's on Sunday. It's going to be at 3:45, a little later now for us North Americans here because we have not turned the clocks back yet. So 3:45, where you going to be at? Where you watching, baby? Gio, where are you watching on Sunday?
Well, man, Milan Snow Cloud, we're trying a new place called McAllen's in Brea. It's in the Orange County. I mean, we're doing this for our club president, Ernesto, who has to travel like 2 hours every game day when he can make it, to watch a game out here in LA. So we're gonna do it out there in Orange County. And if you're in the Orange County area, even if LA, if you want to travel and stuff like that, or if you're in my area, like Downey area, you could make it down there to Brea, new location. We're just trying
How
to see,
far is
man.
it
Like
for you from there?
either way, Fabio is far, but it is what it is. I'm gonna be there. We gotta support Ernesto, man. He does 2 hour drives, because it's the traffic. The traffic that kills you in LA when you have to pass downtown. You're in there for like, oh, right there you go, my brother Anthony in there saying it's a whiskey bar. So
Very nice.
it's gonna be a cool thing, like we said, like I've been saying before. I've talked to Mark off camera and stuff like that about, we're just trying to get a set place where we can watch and where they respect us, because every week we have to call locations to see if they're gonna be able to accommodate us, and it shouldn't be like that because
No,
we
it
spend
shouldn't.
a lot of money when we get there.
Yeah, definitely. You should be having a spot. Timmy, I know probably answer this, but where are you going to be watching the game on Sunday?
So I will be watching at work the first half. Second half, I will be on a train headed to the Scotiabank Arena to go watch Kevin Hart.
Oh, very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice. Look
yeah,
at you.
yeah. So
You're going to find out, baby. All
yeah.
right. I like it. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I'm going to probably be watching most likely at home, but I might try to see if I can finagle my way into Manhattan. Got a lot going down. I got a wedding on Saturday. I'm a part of my friend Jeff. So don't know if I'm gonna have the funds
You're gonna
or
be
the energy.
hungover, Fabio. You're gonna be
Listen, I got
hungover.
softball Sunday morning, so it's gonna be a rough Sunday. I might have to watch this one from home. Plus, if we're gonna do a little pregame therapy, I got to get my therapy in. But yeah, Kevin Hart, local Philly guy, damn right. But we also got to give a shout out to our boy Mark, always repping always love Milan Club Boston. So
Krunic.
check him out. Look at Lord Krunic there against Torino at 345 Ducali's on the Causeway Street. What's it, 289? I can't see. It's too small.
Yeah,
for my eyes.
289,
289
one block
Causeway
away from
Street.
TD Garden, like he
You're
says.
damn
So,
right.
man,
And,
if you
and
out
of
there,
course, if you're in the New York area, go check out Legends, the football factory on 33rd, I believe. I could be wrong. Please double check me. Not 100%.
33
I think it's,
Greenwich Way. I think
yeah, I
Greenwich
think
Way.
you're right. It's 33 Greenwich Way. That's right.
And also Fabio, I want to say, man, shout out to one of the clubs that I participate in. Shout out to Milan Club Montreal. You know where they gonna be at. You know who the host is over there. It's gonna
That's
be
right.
Vinny T.
Charles.
Chachado. So go out there, support. Vinny's been really trying to get everybody to go to the bar and meet up. He's tired of seeing only 2 to 3, 4 people.
And
So
make
go
sure you
support.
go there
people.
and try to
Go
buy a
support.
membership.
And he wants the people to take over the old man spot. So he
Yeah,
always
he
mentions
wants
the old
people.
man. He doesn't want to hear that old man no more.
And turn off your goddamn alerts on the game, all right? He doesn't want to hear that they score before he sees it. I don't blame him. I do it to myself sometimes, and I get upset. All right, so Timmy, you got your beverage ready, my man? I did tell you earlier. My man. All right, all right. All right, Gio, you know what time it is. Let me put the music. It's time for the what's going on here? Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. There we go, baby. All right, Gio. Lead us off, baby. Lead us off for the parting shots.
I ain't got no drink today because I got sick, on Sunday.
No
I've been taking
excuses.
But
one
man, my
episode.
partner shot is no, that's why I've been drinking tea. I was drinking tea and stuff. But
You
I
get a
mean,
pass. You get a
what
pass.
can we say? Let's go. I know a lot of y'all didn't like my thing on layout, but I just believe that he could be this. You feel me? And I don't want to see this. I'm just expecting him to show me up, shout me out. But hey, as long as he shut me up, that's all that matters to me because I'm happy. The high blood pressure is low. And then just go meet up. And if you're in Orange County, LA area, you want to meet up with us, man, we're gonna have a great time. and it's just gonna be great, man. So, and like I said, like right now we're dealing with a lot of injuries, and what do the fans do, Fabio? Where do we push them over? We push them over the Scudetto line. So let's get these 3 points. Let's cheer for them. Hit them up on Twitter and everything, and tell them how great they are.
All right. You know, they like, listen, I talked to Peter Morgan, who works for Milan. He said sometimes these new players, these new young guys, they listen to the Twitter. They like seeing it there. It's just more impactful to them. Timmy, give me your parting shot, Benny. Let's go, brother.
So today I'm drinking my Tim Hortons coffee, but it's spiked with a little Irish O'Casey's Irish cream, just to give it that little touch of sweetness and you know, get me in the nice mood. Parting shot is I want to be happy at the end of Sunday, so let's go into the Kevin Hart show laughing at Torino on the way there. So let's hope for a big game. Anybody in the Toronto area, you know, check out the Milan Club Toronto as well. Great atmosphere, craft brewery for all you craft brewers. Anybody that likes drinking those craft brews, they're good there too. And the food is amazing.
It's Miller's Tap House, right?
The Mills, yeah, the Mills Tap House, Von Mills. Recommendation: get the burgers and get the poutine because it's incredible. I know Katie in the comments; she'll agree with me.
I love it. Listen, guys, my parting shot is here. All right, the defense was a wall this past week. We're scoring goals. This is exactly what we want to getting towards the final line of the unbelievable first half. That right now we're only 3 points behind first place. I'm confident that Napoli will slip and we will be on our way to being back to back. I told you guys, as long as me and Geo on, Milan might never lose. They might never lose again. Because ever since we got together, man, we've been just too sweet, baby. Let's go. All right, boys. Listen, if you've been watching, we appreciate you. Please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe because every Wednesday, every Monday, even Thursday nights, even Saturday and Sunday before the game, we always got content coming for you. Gio, what's up?
One thing, Fabio. You know what? I also want to give a shout out to my brothers out there in Dublin, man. Check out the premium package that they got for their membership, man. It's awesome.
It's
looking a flag,
fire, bro. I might have to
so,
send a couple of euros over because it looks like fire. So
do it
check
now.
out Milan Cup Dublin. Do it now because they run out quick. All right.
Also, the euro is on par with the American dollar, so it's the time to do it now.
The time is now. Listen,
and if you were a member last year, you would have got a discount like me.
Hey, all right. Well, listen, we're still taking any designs out there. We're looking for some coast-to-coast merch. So if you have any cool design that you come up with, you want to contribute, I said, Presidente will probably give you a free one on the arm for sending it out to us. We appreciate everybody watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to our channel. Please check out Various Views Podcast. Timmy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
I fill
me.
in for you when you're not there, so I had to get you on. I know you had an itch, and you had to get it scratched, baby. Yep. So I'm here for you. So I
Mark, they say you can't work on it. David said you can't work on it. So I don't know why you working on it.
Listen. Mark was the first person I went to. So if anybody can top Mark, we will tip our hats to you. But Mark is the front runner. We know he always brings it. He brings it for all the clubs. He brings it for Boston. So we know he's going to probably come up with the flyest stuff. But listen, if you out there and you a graphic designer, you think you're an artist, take it as a challenge. Be better than Mark. All right? Do it. Show us it. Let's go, baby. So, guys, that's our show this week. We appreciate you so much for coming every Wednesday night here on Coast to Coast with me and Gio. Timmy, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, ovunque and sempre.
Forza Milan. Let's go.
Stop cheating,
Let's
Fabio.
go.
Sweet.